when I moved in, I started pulling weeds like a crazy man. And then I flipped the soil. And then I heard it was a good idea to put hay on top for the winter, get it ready for the spring.
Well, hay isn't a great solution for the garden. Number one, you have to put in about 4 to 6 inches of it to really insulate the garden. And that's a lot of hay to be putting on top. Number two, that when you go through the hay, you're gonna find all these little weed seeds, okay? Now these are all gonna be in your garden next spring.
That's
okay?
so good.
Germinate and come up. So you're kind of defeating your purpose by using it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think the next step should be then?
What I'd like you to do is rake it off, bring it all over to the compost pile, put it there. I'll go to the trailer, get some things, and we'll get this garden ready for spring.
Hey, that sounds great.
The thing I like about raised beds is it allows the soil to warm up earlier in the spring, and it provides great drainage, leaving the plants high and dry.
That's a good thing?
That's what most vegetables love.
Super. I think this is about the last of the hay.
Yep, let's bring it over to the compost pile.
Super, right this way.
Boy, that's quite a pile.
Yeah, it sure is. The last owners basically put everything out here, and I'm doing the same. We got plenty of grass clippings, you got perennial cuttings, tons and tons of leaves.
Yeah, and look what it breaks down into over time. Black gold, look at that, that's perfect. Okay, now I'm gonna dump this, and if you would spread that in about a 2-inch layer like I did on the other side of the bed, we'll be all set.
No problem.
Now, while you're spreading that, I'm gonna add some ground limestone to the bed.
What's the limestone for, Roger?
Well, the soils in New England are notoriously acid. Vegetables don't like acid soil. They like a pH of about 6.8. So what the limestone does is raise that pH up to a more acceptable level for the vegetables.
That sounds good.
Well, I think we're all set. Why don't we take and work it in with our spade forks? Now we're ready for our covering. Instead of putting hay on top of the soil, we're gonna plant a cover crop of winter rye. You hold out your hand, and that's that seed right there.
Winter rye, that kind of sounds like grass.
Well, it is a type of grass, and if you look here, I brought along a sample. Now this is what it looks like after germinating for 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks growth. But the beauty of it is it'll germinate at 33 degrees, so it'll germinate all fall, withstand minus 40-degree weather for the winter, and in the spring it helps the garden dry out quicker, and it keeps weeds from coming up in the soil.
Well, that sounds good, but do I have to take it out before I put my vegetable garden in?
No, that's the best part of it. It's a green manure. You simply turn it into the soil, and it improves the soil, and you're ready to plant your garden.
Sounds good.
So I'm just gonna spread this out, and I want you to take your rake, rake it in very lightly for me, and I'll trust you to water it.
Well, how much, how often?
If you water it for 2 or 3 days, you'll see it sprout right up.
Excellent.